Today is Monday, January 31st, which means it's Council Monday here in the city of St. Catharines. There are a number of items on the agenda, and so I really want to dive into a number of them right now. So first up is the 2022 water and wastewater budget and associated rates. I mean, everybody loves talking about water rates. It seems they're always going up. It just matters how much. And that's kind of the concern with this report here. So just before I get into the numbers, I want to say that they're not passing the water rates today. This is just letting you know that there's a public meeting coming up on February 14th council meeting where you'll be able to go and speak. And if you have concerns about anything I'm about to say, you can voice them there. So to get into the numbers, it says that water rates are going up 5.98%. Now, 6%, that's already a lot, but it doesn't quite tell the whole story. So first, it's divided into water and wastewater rates. Now, water rates are going up 3.4%, which, considering inflation is as high as it is actually under inflation, if you can believe it. But the wastewater rates are going up 13.3%, double digits. I don't think I've seen double-digit rate hikes in, well, it's been a long time. And the problem with the wastewater being like that is a number of people have rightfully made the observation that when they water their lawn or they're filling their pool, that water is not going into the wastewater treatment. It's not going into the sewer systems. It's not burdening the system, and yet they're paying wastewater rates for that water. So they're paying for something that they're not even using, and it's going up as high as it is, so up 13%. So that's something to be concerned about. And now the report actually does a great job of talking about consumption over the last few years. About 20 years ago in 2001, the city made a conscious effort to try and tell people to reduce the amount of water they use, to conserve it. It's good for the environment. And a lot of people jumped on because they said, I don't want to pay as much money for water as I am, so I'm going to use less. And it worked. Since 2001, on page 8 of this report, which the report is linked down below in the agenda as always, there's a graph that talks about the rate, the residential consumption went down by almost half. And on page 9, it also shows the commercial water consumption has gone down from 10 million cubic meters down to 6. And so again, almost half in the commercial realm as well. And here's the kicker. Even though consumption is going down and the residents, all of you are listening and trying to conserve water, the amount of revenue the city has brought in has actually gone up because they keep increasing rates as much as they have. So it's not a revenue problem that they're having, it's an expenditure problem in the case of water. So again, this is something to watch for. It's being voted on, and there's a public meeting on February 14th, so you can have your say then. Next up on the agenda is an application to change a bylaw in regards to exotic animals. So there's this business, Reptilia Inc., that wants to come into St. Catharines and open this. It's like a zoo. They have places already in Vaughan and a few other Whitby, I think, other municipalities, and they have a proven track record of being good stewards of animals. They do a lot of educational thing with kids. They teach them about animals. And they would not be able to open with their reptiles given the bylaw that we currently have on the books. Now, St. Catharines, rightfully so, has said, okay, how can we work with this business to make it work? They are good for tourism. It's good to have another business in the city. I'm pro-business. It's good to help them out in any way we can. And the city has created an exemption to allow them to open, which is being tabled tonight. Now, that's great. The problem I have is kind of the method in which they've decided to do this. Instead of changing the bylaw itself to allow that type of business to open, to allow anyone with that similar business model to open, they're proposing to just make an exemption for that specific business. They're saying John Doe can open this business at this location, but nobody else can. Now, it's not saying that other people can't apply, but I feel like this is the city getting into the picking winners and losers, saying some people can open their business, but others can't. And that's a dangerous slope. If they think that this business should open, which I do, and I think it's good to help businesses reduce regulation and reduce red tape, then they should change the bylaw to allow everyone with that same type of business to open, not just say you can, but you can't. So we'll see what happens tonight. This is a discussion. Who knows what will happen? The final thing I want to talk about, and I'm surprised this has not got more media attention because it's kind of a big deal, is this Vision Zero program. So now this is a regional initiative, and though the region will be implementing it, they need to get the permission of the lower tiers. So St. Catharines, all the lower tier municipalities before proceeding. And now Vision Zero, the aim behind it, why it's called Vision Zero, is to reduce traffic deaths to zero. And that is an admirable goal. I think everyone can get behind improving safety, trying to improve uh, the safety and stop traffic deaths and get them down to zero. Where the problem comes in is their methodology in doing that. They are going to propose with this report automated speed enforcement, red light cameras, any kind of automated technology-based traffic enforcement is included in this report. And now other municipalities that have implemented this, Winnipeg, Toronto, other jurisdictions, it's been criticized as a bit of a cash grab as opposed to safety. And reading the report, they really emphasized the money and the revenue from this and less the safety part. And so it makes me a little concerned about the intent behind this Vision Zero locally. So we'll see what happens. The other problem I have is normally these kind of uh, changes, these kind of additions, like red light cameras, get a lot of discussion before they're implemented. And I haven't really seen that in our community. There's usually a lot of advocates, a lot of people against, and yet the decision is to be made tonight. Now, this is a little further complicated because this actually came to Grimsby Town Council last week, and Grimsby shot it down. They said, we don't want this. We don't want this in the community. They had various reasons, but they decided against it. And my understanding from the news article that came out about that in Grimsby is all 12 municipalities in Niagara would have had to approve it for it to go forward. So I don't know if this report will be dead on arrival or what that discussion will be like tonight, but it's definitely worth a watch. Now, the last thing I want to talk about on the agenda is a part of every council agenda is correspondence. And that's usually letters from other level of governments, other cities, could be local organizations or residents writing things to council. And when it's written to all of council, they put it on correspondence on the agenda. One of those things is from the Prime Minister's office, and that is the Prime Minister's Award for Teaching Excellence. And it's just letting people know that the nomination date is coming up, the deadline February 8th. So if you know a teacher who has gone above and beyond, if you've got a teacher in your life, maybe one of your kids' teachers, or maybe you work at a school, and you know a teacher who has just done miraculous work, maybe think about nominating them. This pandemic, these last couple of years, has been really tough on teachers. I've got a number of friends who are teachers, and all the changes and not knowing whether they're going to work one day or online the next. It's been tough, and a lot of them have gone above and beyond the call of duty. And so, if you know one of those teachers, think about nominating them for this award. It closes February 8th. St. Catharines actually has a great track record of winning national awards like this. I think we got one maybe 2 years ago. And when I was in high school, actually, one of my teachers at Laura Secord Secondary School, David Sisler, won one in 2006. So we have a great track record of winning these. Maybe think about nominating someone you know. Anyway, that's it for the council update for today. I hope it was informative. I hope you learned something, and I hope you stay engaged. So have a great rest of the day, and bye for now.